Hello everyone. I hope you people are doing good. So, a very warm welcome to all my students who would be watching this video and the ones who are preparing for IGCSE Biology. So this live session, this is especially for IGCSE Biology students who would be appearing for their Edexcel examination, but this can also be used as a revision guide for the ones who are doing A levels or AS or at any level. So let's first, maybe we can wait for a while, and by the time we wait, I can just share some basic information about your examination, which you are going to sit for very soon, almost after a month only. So the first thing you need to know about biology or Edexcel curriculum is that you need to sit for two papers. The first paper, which is paper 1, that is of 110 marks, so 110, and the duration for the exam would be 2 hours. Then the second paper, paper 2, that is again for 70 marks and the duration is 1 hour, 15 minutes. Um, in paper 2, you would be examined on everything that is in your specification. So you need to know every details which is there in the specification, but there is a bit leniency for paper 1. In paper 1, there are few topics which are not examined in paper 1 examination. How do you find out which ones are in paper 1, which ones are in paper 2 only? So for paper 2, you need to revise everything. For paper 2, you cannot skip out on anything. But for paper 1, you can skip on few detailed topics. Now, what are those detailed topics? How do you understand that? For that, we will first check with the specification. I will in a second share the specification. There are some students who don't even have an idea about the Edexcel specification, but trust me, that specification is very, very important. You all must have a good idea about that. What is the importance of the specification? I'll be telling you just in a couple of minutes. I will just open the PDF, which is provided by Edexcel. So we can see a bit why specification is important and what we can get from the specification. And also we will see that what are the tricks to find out which topic you need to study only for paper 1, and so you don't waste your time revising those when you have paper 1 exam. So this is how the specification looks like, and you can just get it on Edexcel website. So if you type Pearson Edexcel website and just go to the subjects, and there you can choose IGCSE Biology, you will find specification there. If you people have problem finding that, you can just let me know. In the next live session, I'll even show you how where you can find these. Now, with this specification, what are we going to do, or why is this so important, as I'm mentioning it again and again? So first thing, this specification, this is for the new syllabus. You must ensure that you are not using a specification which was used before 2017 or 19. So the first exam was in 2019, May or June. So the importance, it starts from so this is basically from where the important stuff starts. So if we go through this, you would see they have given the titles, and these are basically the chapters you see in the 9-to-1 textbook. You would also see that they have given you a detailed list of whatever you need to study. For example, what we study in the first chapter, which is Mrs. Gren, metabolism, respiration, excretion, which are the characteristics of a living thing. So you see what the features you need to know, they have listed it. So you don't need to know anything out of this or more from this. It's enough if you can remember these 8 features. Then it comes to the second chapter where we study about the variety of living things. So here you can see they have pointed out so nicely what features you need to study from plants. So you don't need to struggle and look through the book and notes and everywhere, like how much I should learn about plants, how much I should learn about animals. You can just go through the specification and you know how much you need to learn or what you can omit. So here you would see that plants, these are multicellular, they have chloroplast and all those, so you know what you need to study. Now, what I was wanting to explain how you understand the paper 1 and paper 2 topics. So here you can see there are some headings or some numbers here given, 2.5b, 2.6b, or there might be some other points as well, 2.14b. So such points with B in their numbers, or the ones which are in bold, you don't need to revise these before paper 1. These are only for paper 2. So it's enough if you don't revise them and you only go through these before paper 2. So that is something important, and that's just saving your time before paper 1 examination only. And if you go through these points, my perspective or my idea is 25% of your revision is done only if you go through the specification once. And this specification, you don't need to go through 56 pages. It's enough if we start from page 4, I guess we started or something like that, and you go up to the end of these points, and that is on page here. So that is on page 32. So we started, I guess, from page, was it somewhere 12? No. So it started basically from page 16 or 16, I guess. 17. So from page 17 till 32. So it's like 16 or 15 pages. So it's enough if you just go through these 15, 16 pages. It would cover 25% of your specification, and that will only require you maybe half an hour or so. So that is a very important trick. Just try to follow it and you'll see the results. The second important thing of this specification is on the appendix page. So if you just look into the content of the specification, at the end you will see there is something called appendix here. So these are the list of appendices. Which appendix is very important for you? The most important appendix for you is Appendix 5, Command Word Taxonomy. Trust me, the students who have a good grasp over biology in IGCSE sometimes still miss out a 9 or an 8 from their grade sheet. And the main reason behind that is this Appendix 5. They haven't gone through this. So try to go through Appendix 5. What is important in this Appendix 5? Let's see. So if you look at this Appendix 5, you will see this is called Command Word Taxonomy. So when we look into this Command Word Taxonomy, so it means they are defining some words here, and they use these command words to frame the questions they are asking you. So they can ask the question, describe the adaptations of alveoli. They can ask you, state the adaptations of alveoli. They can ask you, explain the adaptation of alveoli. So all these three questions have to be answered in a different manner. You cannot just write the same point for all these and expect to get equal marks. No. So how do you know when to write what? So when we do this, you can just look here. So add or label. What does that mean? So having add or label, you just need to write a single word or maybe a couple of words or few words. So this is just the adding the label. Calculate, of course, you need to do some calculation, comment on, complete. The important command words for you is describe, discuss, and explain. These are the three command words where you get confused about, and also evaluate. So these four, these are very important ones where you people lose marks. Now, when we talk about describe or discuss, so describe is where you need to give an account of something. Statements in the response need to be developed as they are often linked but do not need to include a justification or reason. This describe thing is usually with a table or with a graph where you need to describe it. For example, there is an upward trend to it. So if you write that as the time increases, the rate of photosynthesis is increasing, that will just gain you a part of the total marks they have assigned. What do you need to do for that more to get all the marks? So you should add some explanation or some description, I should say, from the graph they have given or from the table they have given. And that could be a data manipulation, such as finding out the percentage increase or decrease or rate at a certain point. So something like that. So that is not an explanation, not a justification why as time is increasing, a rate of photosynthesis is increasing, but that is an something like to back your answer what you have written. In discuss, You have to explore all aspects of the issue and investigate the issue by reasoning or argument. This is usually for a 6-mark question with a star mark. You would find in some questions where there are star mark, and you have to evaluate several aspects there. For example, you are given a table, you are given a graph, and if you only talk about graph, no, you are not getting all the marks, no matter how many points you write about. So you have to explore all those and come to a final conclusion, and that is what demands, that is what discuss demands. Okay. Then when it is evaluate, this is usually they write a conclusion for you from some given data and informations in the question, and you have to evaluate that conclusion. So when you evaluate that conclusion, you must write both pros, the advantages or why this can be true, and also why it can be false even, or why this is not acceptable in scientific terms. So that is evaluate, where you have to write both positive and negative sides. And explain is a very special command word, and in explain you must add some reasoning, you must add some logical explanation to them. So these were the 4 important command words. So from the specification part, it is important that you go through the contents as I have shown you from page 16 till 32 or page 17 till 32, and also these appendix 5. So this is from specification, and so I have told you how you can find out what is needed for paper 1 or what is needed for paper 2. Now I would just discuss few topics, and as I start with those, I would also like to mention that we will continue doing these discussions every Friday at 10 p.m. Just like today, we will start at 10 p.m. So we will start it every Friday at 10 p.m. So at first, okay. So at first, let's start with what are the things we have. So first thing, we need to know some introductory things from biology part. So those introductions are the first and second chapters we have, which is about the life processes, which makes a living thing a living thing. So we need to know about the life processes. We need to know about the transport mechanisms or the transport systems, or transport methods, better said. Okay, so transport methods, then we need to know about enzymes and their mode of action. We need to know about the respiration, different types of respiration. Then we also need to know about stem cells a bit. not in very detail, but a bit. What I am following is the sequence given in your 9 to 1 textbook, so that will help you to follow the sessions as we continue doing it every Friday. So these are the basic things we need to cover in the introductory part. So this is from chapter 1, and from chapter 2, it will be the variety. So we need to talk about the kingdoms, so variety of living things. So we will mainly be talking about the different kingdoms we have, not the geographical kingdoms, but the biological kingdoms. So kingdoms, these could be animalia or the animals, then these are plants, then these are fungi, then these are protoplasts, then we have bacteria or prokaryote. Okay, so bacteria or prokaryotes. So these are the kingdoms we have. We also need to study about virus. So virus, as we all know, that it is not a complete living thing, so we don't put it under any of the variety of living things. But since it also affects us, our health, our disease, or even nowadays we are using it in genetic engineering, so we do study it as a parasite or as a pathogen. So these are from the introductory part, so the unit 1 in your book. Then in unit 2, we will mainly study about the animal physiology. So we will go through different systems of animals, like the breathing system, digestive system, um, nervous system, endocrine system, so such reproductive system. So we will have different systems or how the body of animals they work. Then in unit 3, we will have about plants. So whatever we studied in unit 2 about animals, we will study those in unit 3 for plants. So how transportation works in plant, how reproduction works in plant, how the communication works in plant. So we will see all those here. Then in unit 4, we have about environment. So we will look into what are the aspects of the environment in the first part. So different definitions and all those. And in the second part, we will see what we are doing to the environment. Okay, so what we are doing. So human influence on the environment. Are we doing good to it, or are we doing bad to it? So we can just get the idea how what we are getting in return. So if we are getting something bad, it means we are doing something bad. And if we get something good from the environment, definitely that means we are doing good to the environment as well. Then in unit 5, this is about inheritance. So when we say we look like our father, or we look like our mother, or maybe some aunt or some cousin, how come it's possible? So I am at a different place, taking birth from different pair of people, and my cousin, he is a different person and taking birth from a different pair of people, but still, why are we looking similar? So what is being carried in the family, what is running in the family, which makes us look alike? So that is what we would study in inheritance, unit 5. And all these knowledge, whatever we have gained till unit 5, how we can use them in for the benefit of mankind, for making different chemical products, making drugs, medicines, vaccines, or modified food items. All these we would study in unit 6, where we would be using all our knowledge gained here. So this is a basic summary of what you need to study in IGCSE. And we would and we would start discussing all these in the next session, that is on next Friday, at 10 p.m. So let me tell you what the plan is actually. So we would just go through each topic a day. So in the next day, I would focus on chapter 1 and chapter 2, that is the introductory part. Next day, we will focus on this unit 2, that is mainly animal physiology part. The next day on plant physiology, then environment, inheritance, and their usage. So there would be 5 Friday sessions. In the next 4 or 5 Friday sessions, I will be discussing the main factors. And if you have any questions in your mind, you can definitely write me down beforehand or during the live sessions. As you feel comfortable, you can just comment on it, and I'll be more than happy to answer those and help you out with your queries at the last moment. So um, I hope it would be helpful for you, and don't forget to share it with your friends who are appearing for their IGCSE exams in January, or they need some help for May as well. So please share it with them, and this would definitely be helpful. So thank you so much, whoever joined, as I cannot see any questions coming up. I hope you people would be having questions in the next session, where we would be discussing in details each of the topic. So till then, keep studying and stay healthy. Bye-bye.